this is it. This is the final matchup of the final 3DS Midseason Showdown. So, very exciting. Giovanni, Costa, Hangyue, Zhang. Let's get to it. Now, we saw Hangyue just a minute ago. You're going to see him on the right side with Kyogre, Incineroar, Whimsicott, Tapu Koko, Ho-Oh, and Metagross. And we had some fun with that Ho-Oh, Calm Mind, and Roost. And it took forever, but it was awesome to watch. Giovanni going for Gengar, Tapu Koko, Kyogre, Duskmane, Necrozma, Kangaskhan, and Talonflame. It's been so long since I've seen Talonflame, I'll tell you. You know, it's kind of crazy. One thing kind of puts into perspective just kind of the new era we're going into with the Switch. Talonflame has had such a drastic change from being introduced to now, you know, with Gale Wing's ability, priority to flying moves, that got nerfed down, but hey, it is still at least semi-prominent, and you know, it's really fun looking at Talonflame here. It doesn't really have a good matchup against Hangyue's team, considering that it resists, when it attacks, it has 2 Pokemon that resist its attacks and 2 that beat it, but it's something that it's just really neat to take a look at, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's weird to think that at the start of the 3DS era, Talonflame was really overpowered, and now it's wondering what kind of Sword and Shield Pokemon are going to be overpowered next game, right? Anyway, let's get into it. Coming out first with Hangyue, we got Tapu Koko and Whimsicott, while Giovanni is going to lead with Tapu Koko and Talonflame. So double Tapu Koko here, and 2 Tailwind users, both of them with priority. So you know, here the only thing is Hangyue has a bit of an advantage, considering that his Tapu Koko can remove the Talonflame, and Talonflame does it most likely will not carry the Focus Sash, so you can probably one-hit KO it. Giovanni can't really one-hit KO the Tapu Koko, or Whimsicott with Tapu Koko. So Whimsicott will most likely live. We know its item from the last match is a Z Crystal, so it's not really going to be it can't be safe with the Focus Sash, but I think it doesn't need it in this case. Anyway, we saw both Tailwinds from both of the opposing Tailwind Pokemon, and a Volt Switch from Hangyue, gonna go ahead and knock out Talonflame instantly. So now we wait for Hangyue's pick. At this point, thinking about his team, Incineroar is pretty decent. You got Metagross as well, as what I was literally just about to say as I see it on screen, which is kind of fun. But Giovanni gonna go with that Tailwind Electro Web combo, so both of Hangyue's Pokemon now -1 in health, or speed, sorry, and a little -1 in health there. But like maybe 1/16 that did, like maybe an 1/8, I don't know, it's very little. But the Electro Web's gonna slow him down, meaning both of Giovanni's Pokemon are gonna be faster for this turn. With this Necrozma, the Duskmane Necrozma, it's not going to be bad, actually. To be at that position, if you go for the Ultra Necrozma, you've got a really decent shot at knocking out both of Hangyue's Pokemon. Depending, the Whimsicott will most likely survive, but an Earth Power onto Metagross, either Mega or Non-Mega, because, you know, there's some people out there that like to run Non-Mega Metagross, and it's almost the last tournament, so who knows? This could be Non-Mega Metagross. But either way, could go down to Earth Power from that Necrozma. So at this point, I think Giovanni has the advantage thanks to that Electro Web. There's the Ultra Necrozma right now, as it spreads its wings and flies. And we are going to see Mega Metagross. So yeah, no weird non-Mega Metagross. Not today. But we are going to see fake tears from the Whimsicott. So that is going to drop that Ultra Necrozma special defense, which is interesting because special defense is not what Mega Metagross is known for, but with it being knocked out thanks to the Earth Power, it gives Hangyue an opening to bring in any special attacker. Tapu Koko going to go for Sky Drop, which is going to prevent Whimsicott from using any priority moves because it'll go faster than Tapu Koko. So that's kind of nice. It does mean that they have to attack, which isn't actually a good thing for Giovanni right now, because we know the Whimsicott from the last match is carrying a Fairy Z. That Fairy Z onto Ultra Necrozma might be a bad thing. I'm just thinking over here, like, I don't know if it can knock out the Ultra Necrozma. It did around 66% onto Rayquaza, a little bit more, and then with the critical hit, it one-hit KO'd it earlier, so we don't know. And actually, you know, with the fake tears, you don't even need to use that Z Crystal, probably. We see Kyogre come in for Hangway's side. A bit of a risk with the Tapu Koko on the other side, but it isn't a Sky Drop, which does allow Kyogre to go for practically a Water Spout with no real repercussions. That is, of course, if Whimsicott outspeeds the Ultra Necrozma. If that's the case and they go for the Z Crystal, it's a one-hit KO practically on both of Giovanni's Pokemon. If not, the Ultra Necrozma is going to be able to cripple this Kyogre where it's going to put it in a very tough spot. Now, keep in mind, the Whimsicott was Electro Web, so that will probably mean the Necrozma's first. So I don't know what Hangway's going to plan. You could go Origin Pulse. Tapu Koko could go, yeah. You could go Ice Beam on the Necrozma and then try maybe go for the Z Crystal on the Tapu Koko or the Z Crystal on the Necrozma and Origin Pulse. It could go either way. But we're going to see that Z Crystal right now. It's Psychium Z, or no, it's not. It's Ultra Necrozmium Z. And that is going to be on that Kyogre. The light that burns the sky. So sit back, get some popcorn while we watch this animation. We've got time. It's 2 minutes, probably, just around. No. Yeah, that's one thing. It's going to be interesting to see the brand new meta in Sword and Shield. It's going to be very fun. Won't have Ultra Necrozma, I believe, right away. I don't know. I'm guessing, just based on the past, it's going to be Galar Dex only, but we don't know. Maybe there'll be like an event and it's like, hey, here's an Ultra Necrozma and you can use it. But the odds of that happening are like, oh, I'd say rarer than getting 5 shinies in a row. Tapu Koko gonna go for that Sky Drop now. Kyogre took the light that burns the sky with just red health. And now with that, we can see the Origin Pulse with Tapu Koko missing it. Not terrible. Not a terrible spot. Origin Pulse is gonna do a good chunk of damage onto Necrozma. Moonblast, thanks to the special defense drop from Fake Tears, and Moonblast gonna complete that finish there. So Hangyue is in a decent spot because even though they are slower, Tapu Koko can go for. The only thing is maybe if it goes for a discharge, but bringing out Kyogre, you do not want to knock out your own Pokemon, especially because Hangyue has, I believe, one more Pokemon in the back. So you really don't want to. At this point, you really don't want to sacrifice your own just relying on Tapu Koko here to finish it. Yeah, so I think Tapu Koko might go for another Sky Drop on the Whimsicott. And I think Whimsicott being slower could go for now some sort of Tailwind or Taunt. I believe the Tailwind runs out at the end of the next turn, so it wouldn't really be that useful. I think, you know, with the Electric Terrain and all, with Kyogre's Thunder, yeah, there's one more turn for Tailwind. But I think Hangyue, with that Tailwind not really mattering, it's going to come down to a real speed tie between the Kyogres. I think if Hangyue is able to beat out Giovanni's Kyogre in speed and go for Thunder on it, there's still a shot. And Encore coming out for the Tapu Koko, which means Tapu Koko can only use Sky Drop. That was kind of a smart play. Oh, and we're going to see Origin Pulse from Hangway's side, so not too much damage. Maybe it doesn't have Thunder, but the Kyogre from Giovanni's side is going to connect with the Kyogre from Hangway's side and knock it out. So now it is down to the last 2 Pokemon, I believe, of each team. Each of them no longer having Tailwind. Here's what I think is going to happen. So if this Whimsicott does survive, it can knock out the Tapu Koko with the Therium Z move. And with, you know, we have it almost identical sides here. We have Tapu Koko on both. We have Kyogre now on Giovanni's, but Whimsicott on Hangway's. I think this Kyogre is in a bit of a tough spot because the Thunder is going to be able to KO it. It is most likely faster. Actually, unless it's a bulky Tapu Koko, which I don't see being the case. And with Sky Drop, the Tapu Koko can beat the other Tapu Koko. But for now, the Kyogre from Giovanni's side is going to protect itself from a Thunder. Tapu Koko goes for the Sky Drop. This could be Tailwind. This could be the Fairy MZ move. But it's actually not going to be able to do anything because it is unfortunately knocked out. So Giovanni is in a decent spot at the moment, but it really, I think he's got, and you know, last time I said this, the other person won, but I think he's got an 80% chance at winning this right now. The Electric Terrain drop really is going to cripple Hangyue. Hangyue, sorry. I think with the Thunder, it is 100%. Kyogre going for a double protect. There's that Thunder. I'm surprised Kyogre didn't straight up attack, but maybe it's anticipating the knockout, even if it was crippled. Yeah, so it is actually it was strong enough to knock out the Kyogre. And with the Sky Drop now, this is where we're gonna get into this like kinda stall fest here, because both Tapu Kokos are at full health against each other with no electric terrain or anything. The Sky Drop is going to connect us very little. The Encore did end, however, so Giovanni's now free to use whatever, and because Hangyue kind of won the speed tie there, it means, unfortunately, of course, it is possible that his is faster, but especially with Sky Drop on Giovanni's. But for the most part, if it is a speed tie, then Hangyue has really got unlucky there because he didn't get the move off. So yeah, I think here, and yeah, so it looks like it is the Hangyue is going to be faster. It goes for Thunder, 70% accuracy, and it does a decent 50 or so damage. Nature's Madness from Giovanni. So that kind of shows it is definitely a more defensive Tapu Koko. Probably has the Assault Vest. I think Sky Drop is kind of what you want to keep. I don't know. Sky Drop might not be the best. I think you've got to spam Nature's Madness and hope Thunder misses. It looks like Thunder is a 4-hit KO. Nature's Madness with a couple Sky Drops. I don't know. It's going to take a while, though, to get this match. It's going to take a while to see how this ends up. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you have to kind of think it through when you're up against something that's so similar but so different. Because Hangyue's Pokemon seems to be rather offensive. Oh! Okay, well, we just literally went around in a circle as both of the opposing Tapu Koko's moves missed. And another miss from Thunder, but this time Nature's Madness hits. Now, this is one thing where it's like, okay, I think it could come down to luck as well. I think Giovanni needs to hit one more Nature's Madness before being able to knock it out with a Sky Drop. But the Thunder coming out is going to do a decent amount, gets it down just above. Oh, and we see Wild Charge from Giovanni's Tapu Koko, so Giovanni going to take the win. Alright, that was a really interesting final few moments of that match there. It was really fun watching the two Tapu Koko go against each other. But, you know, it just kind of shows how different this one Pokemon can be. Tapu Koko has such a diverse moveset with Wild Charge, Thunder, Thunderbolt, sometimes Hidden Power, Sky Drop, Nature's Madness, Electro Web. We saw all of that throughout the course of Tapu Koko being in Gen 7, so now we wait for this next matchup. And, you know, so the pressure's on for Hangyue here to take the win, but, you know, pressure can be pretty bad. You just kind of keep a calm mind like his Ho-Oh has. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, looking at the changes for the teams, I'm not necessarily sure Metagross did too much. I think it's in a tough spot because Metagross really is Hangyue's answer to Tapu Koko, but at the same time, it's really threatened by everything else. Literally every other Pokemon on the team could have a move that's super effective against it. So except for Kyogre, but that with Water Spout and Origin Pulse is just threatening in general. I think Hangyue might want to swap out that Tapu Koko for maybe, or Metagross for Ho-Oh, or maybe Tapu Koko for Ho-Oh. But of course, that is dependent on his. One thing we didn't see, it didn't seem that his Kyogre had Thunder, which is interesting, because I'm thinking like if the Kyogre has Thunder, you have a Kyogre answer without Tapu Koko, and then you're free to bring in that Ho-Oh. But I don't know. I think Hangyue might have to go with the same Pokemon just because it covers everything on Giovanni's team. But positioning is super duper important. Tapu Koko Talonflame lead for Giovanni here. Wow, Hangyue gonna lead with Tapu Koko and Whimsicott. So pretty much the exact same thing we saw earlier. Or maybe not earlier, but or not the exact same thing, but very close. We have that double electric Tapu Koko's, double Tailwind. Yeah. One thing is, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we just see the exact same thing play out here. Sky Drop on Giovanni. Oh! Talonflame's gonna go for Protect, which allows a Tailwind on Whimsicott right off the bat. That might have been a slip up here. We see Volt Switch, which is gonna try and connect with the Talonflame. But Tapu Koko going for the Electro Web on Giovanni's side. That's gonna cripple Hangyue at the end, but right now he is at a +1 speed tier compared to Giovanni. Which, you know, in this case, what I think I'd do is Volt Switch out on that Talonflame or Tapu Koko, but you can't Encore. You can Encore Talonflame onto Protect, which means it has to use Protect. You're safe with the Tailwind, and then you can go in with your Metagross or something to counter Tapu Koko, and that's it. And I think we might see that happen. You know, I think I'd probably want to keep Talonflame in. I'd probably Volt Switch, if I were Hangyue, onto the Tapu Koko on Giovanni's side. Get out of that position, go into the Metagross spot, and then set up an Encore on Talonflame so he does not get to move. And then in that case, your Metagross is going to be very fast, and then you can switch out your Whimsicott so Electro Web doesn't really hurt anymore. But we aren't going to see that happen. We're going to see the swap out of Whimsicott to Metagross instead, which is a bit of an interesting play. Talonflame going to switch out, not going to try the Tailwind, goes into Necrozma. Probably saw something like this happening. Volt Switch from the Tapu Koko. Does a decent amount of damage onto the Duskmane Necrozma. And, you know, possibly we saw the reason of the switch out from Whimsicott is Sky Drop, because Metagross is very heavy. So if Tapu Koko goes for Sky Drop, there's a good shot, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be able to pick it up. Tapu Koko goes for Electro Web again, which is going to, like I said, cripple him later, but for now, both of the opposing Pokemon are out. Just -1. It's not going to be too bad. And with the Tailwind, they are going to be the faster ones on the field. So, it's a tough spot here, actually. I feel like Hangyue, you know, Hangyue's got a really good position if this Necrozma doesn't go for Ultra. If it does go for Ultra. If it doesn't, it's in a tough spot. But then, what I'm thinking, though, is you have the Moonblast, and you just click on Moonblast, and that Ultra Necrozma is gone, because that did over 50% last time. And we are going to see that Mega Metagross come out. Going to Protect this turn, which is a decent play here. And there is that Z Crystal. It is the Fairy Z. We didn't see Ultra Necrozma, but we are going to see Twinkle Tackle. So this Twinkle Tackle is going to connect with the Ultra Necrozma, or not Ultra Necrozma, the Necrozma in general. And it is able to send it off into Oblivion, which Oblivion is 26 HP. Electro Web is going to keep the Whimsicott at neutral health under Tailwind. Metagross still barely at speed. And we do now get to see Ultra Necrozma, or not Ultra Necrozma, it was Ultra last game. It really was. It's now really tough to say Dusk Mage. But it is going to go for an Earth Power onto the Mega Metagross. But it's not going to connect thanks to the Protect. So now Metagross is able to go for whatever move it really wants to on the Necrozma and take it out. Brilliant adjustment there from Hangyue. I think you got a pretty safe swap out of Whimsicott, because with Whimsicott you can just get out of there, reset your speed, and yeah, which is going to happen. But you can now knock out that Necrozma as long as it doesn't Protect, and even if it does, you have Tapu Koko for that. So there's the Stomping Tantrum, not going to Protect, but the Stomping Tantrum going to connect with the Tapu Koko instead. Not quite a knockout though. Electro Web is going to connect now. Both of Hangyue's Pokemon once again back down to -1 each. And we now, I believe, know 3 out of the 4 Pokemon from Hangyue's side. Not all of them yet. And Sunsteel Strike from this Duskmane Necrozma is going to hit that Tapu Koko, and Tapu Koko is going down. So it's both good and bad. because the Tailwind is gone for Hangyue, which means he can go in, set up with Whimsicott right away. But it's bad because you did have to sacrifice Tapu Koko to get to that spot. So there's that Whimsicott. Most likely you're going to see Tailwind once again come on out. But I think it's okay. I think here, Metagross can really take out a good chunk of Giovanni's team. It can take out the Tapu Koko and the Crozma. It will struggle against Talonflame, but if Hangway's carrying Kyogre in the back, it is a relatively safe spot, you know. So I'm thinking here that, alright, we're going to see that Ultra Necrozma go into Ultra mode now. But I think Hangway's got this pretty safe spot. Gonna protect that Metagross, make sure it doesn't get hit or anything as you set up the Tailwind. And now if you bring in the Kyogre, you do have a relatively safe spot because that is, of course, if this Whimsicott goes out. But it won't. We're gonna see the Sky Drop. Takes it into the sky, and we'll drop it. But we saw the Earth Power attempt on the from the Ultra Necrozma onto the Metagross. Not gonna happen though. But what could happen now is Metagross is knockout on the right side. All you have to do is click literally anything, whatever your highest accuracy move is, and KO that Necrozma. And that's going to be Iron Head, 100% accuracy, Steel type move goes down. And now Giovanni down to Talonflame and one other. Sky Drop from Tapu Koko, not necessarily a good place because if this Encore goes into the Tapu Koko slot, so it looks like Whimsicott didn't go for any, didn't have to go for any move. But I was thinking now with Encore, you know, I think that's a bit tough, and it makes sense because Whimsicott did set up the Tailwind. But with Encore, you Encore that. Yeah, I think you have to Encore Tapu Koko here onto the Sky Drop because Metagross is going to be way too heavy to pick up. You have the Talonflame. Talonflame is going to be a bit tough here too. For this Mega Metagross, it looks like it could possibly one-hit KO it, but if there is a Kyogre in the back, then that's really not. That's going to be pretty easy. Moonblast going from the Whimsicott onto the Tapu Koko, so just knocking it out instead of having to go for Sky Drop. That was pretty smart. Thunder Punch from Mega Metagross, gonna go ahead and one-hit KO Talonflame. So right now, Hangyue's got this in the bag. I think he's got one more Pokemon to deal with, 3 Pokemon, possibly Kyogre in the back, and the last thing is both of them are Tailwind. Both teams are tailwinded at the moment. You know, I think this is a relatively safe place for Hangyue to swap out Whimsicott and just try and reset the Tailwind later. Even though both are under Tailwind, if it is a Kyogre in the back, it means they're either Giovanni to really do massive damage on it will have to use Thunder on it, try and knock it out, and with Metagross being a higher power right now, or higher speed right now, I think that it is just gonna be able to hit the Kyogre, then Hangyue swaps into his Kyogre, takes the hits, and just take all the hits. Or you go for Fake Tears and lower that Kyogre special defense by 2. That is something very interesting I did not expect. This Kyogre is also faster than the Mega Metagross, which it is going to be knocked out here. So it is going to come down to Hangyue's last Pokemon. So there's 2 options that we could see, and really it's going to come down to if he brings in the right one. We did see Ho-Oh earlier, but we are going to see that Kyogre. I was like, it's going to be Ho-Oh or Kyogre. We haven't seen the restricted yet, but we are going to see Kyogre. It is going to Primal Revert. And now we, just like the last match where we had 2 different Kyogre or Tapu Kokos against each other, we have 2 different Kyogres now. Okay, smart play there from Hangyue, trying to stall out the Tailwind. I believe there's one more turn of Tailwind after this. And a Water Spout will do a lot of damage, but if Hangyue's carrying Thunder, I think that's going to do it. Giovanni going to get that Water Spout out right now. That's going to do a good under 50%, like 49%. Origin Pulse from Hangye's side. Connect with a -2 in special defense Kyogre, and it does a bit more. Tailwind is gone, so now it's going to come down to Giovanni here. I think if Giovanni goes for Origin Pulse and it crits, that's going to do it. But it's going to be Hangyue who goes for the Origin Pulse, who hits it first. And with thanks to that special defense drop, he is going to take the game. What a match. That was a really entertaining match. So, and you know, part of what it's also entertaining is it's going to bring us to a final game here. Game 3, final match of the day, final game of the day of the final Midseason Showdown of the SoCal's Midseason Showdown of the 3DS. So, definitely an exciting time. Alright, you know, I think we're not going to see too many changes. I think the only thing I can really think of is maybe Giovanni dropping Talonflame. I'm just, you know, thinking about that. I'm like, Talonflame's useful for Tailwind, but it hasn't provided any use other than Tailwind on Giovanni's team. But, you know, I think it might actually be useful to try and use something like Brave Bird first and remove Whimsicott, because Whimsicott's proven to be a thorn in Giovanni's side. It's not guaranteed, like, it's not gonna do too much damage or anything. The reason it's been so annoying is it really was the reason Giovanni lost that last match. The Origin Pulses with the special defense drop were able to do more than 50%, and that basically gave Hangyue an advantage in numbers and luck. So let's get into this final match. We got Whimsicott and Tapu Koko once again leading from Hangye's side. Giovanni now going to leave with Kangaskhan and Kyogre, a whole different lead to try and take this game. Ooh, okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting. There's a lot of things to consider in this round. Okay, first off, we have Fake Out possibility with Kangaskhan. Who do you choose? You choose the Tapu Koko and try and, which is a huge threat to Kyogre, because Thunder could possibly one-hit KO this Primal Kyogre. Do you Fake Out the Whimsicott, prevent Tailwind? Do you let Whimsicott get the Tailwind up? And then can Kyogre one-hit KO the Tapu Koko? Do you eat, what move to use on Kyogre? Do you use Water Spout? I think the best play would be, maybe if I were Hangyue, what I would do is protect the Tapu Koko and Tailwind. That is if Tapu Koko has Protect. I'm not sure we've seen it yet. But if it does, that allows Whimsicott to set up that Tailwind if it's not KO'd or faked out. And we'll see. There's Mega Kangaskhan now going in. Another one that kind of got a nerf in the past. Fake Out, gonna actually target the Tapu Koko. And we do see the Tailwind from the Whimsicott. So Tapu Koko kind of acting as bait, it looks like. Gonna go down with this Water Spout. Whimsicott survives it. Barely, but it survives it. Hangyue now, we did see that if he brings out Kyogre again, he does have a legitimate shot by going for Fake Tears. And there it is. There's that Kyogre. I think Fake Tears Water Spout is going to be very, very useful and possibly enough to one-hit KO the opposing Kyogre on Giovanni's side. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the way it's going to go. I could see Sucker Punch from this Kangaskhan to try and remove some health, but I'm not really sure could do anything useful. It's definitely, I wouldn't Sucker Punch the Whimsicott either. But, you know, well, there is a possibility Whimsicott goes for, instead of Fake Tears, it goes for the Twinkle Tackle. Kangaskhan going to use Helping Hand on the Kyogre to try and help it knock out Hangyue. But, there is the Fake Tears, which we did see. So how much is Fake Tears Water Spout going to do? And it is going to connect with the Kyogre. So there is that Water Spout, and it is going to get the Kyogre down to 6 health. because of a crit, and Kangaskhan down to 13, and Giovanni making the simple mistake of going for a water spout after being attacked. That's going to knock out the Whimsicott, but unfortunately for him, it means that Kyogre is going to not do anything. Like, it's staying there, staying put. There's the Mega Metagross coming out. I think Hangyue might have just taken the game with that. It is obviously going to come down to Giovanni's last two, but at this point, you have the Tailwind, you have Water Spout. You know, now actually I do. These are the only two we've seen from Hangyue, so or from Giovanni. Oh man, I'm mixing up names left and right here. But this is Giovanni's first two, so Hangyue is in the better spot. But there's also Tapu Koko, and Tapu Koko is going to be brutal. The only thing, if it is Tapu Koko and Talonflame, Giovanni does have a good shot. Kangaskhan going for Sucker Punch on the Kyogre, it is going to cripple it, but it's not going to really matter. Water Spout from the Hangyue's Kyogre is going to go ahead and knock out Kangaskhan with a critical hit at 13 health. How exciting. An Iron Head attempting to knock out the Kyogre, but it did protect. This Kyogre is essentially a sitting duck. It really can't do anything, can't protect. It can try and attack, but it's just going to get knocked out. I think Giovanni might need to switch it out or sacrifice it. You really have to here to allow Talonflame to go ahead and Tailwind and set that up. You could also risk the double protect because I believe this is the last turn of Tailwind on Hangyue's side, but that might not be worth the risk. So now, and there we go. So we have that Metagross now going for that Mega Evolution right off the bat. It didn't Mega last turn. I don't know if there's any purpose in that, but hey, here we go now. Now we get to see it Mega Evolve one last time. And we do see the opposing Kyogre go for Protect here. Wow, now a Z Crystal coming out. Flying the Z from Giovanni's Talonflame. Now, if that's target, now I believe flying, or Skill Dozer is just flying, so it makes sense for that to target the Kyogre, which is a perfect time to go for that. Yeah, it does. It's a perfect time to protect that Kyogre because this Z move is going to do get it not even down to half health. And Thunder Punch from the Mega Metagross is going to connect with the Talonflame, get rid of it. Which leaves this Kyogre with Scald. Now going to attack the Mega Metagross. Gets it down to the yellow health. Tailwind's gone, but Giovanni can't set up Tailwind of his own either. Generally, Tapu Koko is going to be the fastest one, followed by Metagross, and then the two Kyogres. But, you know, it also depends on sets. It could depend on the bulk of the Metagross and the Kyogres. So that's going to be an interesting thing here. Tapu Koko has the clear knockout on Hangyue's side, even though it is still up. Even though it did protect, I mean, a double protect would be really what you hope for here. And I don't know if it's worth it for Hangyue, because really, you click Thunderbolt on this Tapu Koko, or Thunder even, because of the rain, and it's over. So let's see, we got a double protect attempt, but it's not going to work. Tapu Koko actually going to show its physical side by going for Wild Charge. And, I think Giovanni might have taken this match now. Thunder Punch coming out. Gonna take out the Kyogre. I think Giovanni's got this. The only thing... okay. That was it. That was what I was going to say. The only thing is if the electric terrain... Yeah, but yes, even with that health, that's got way less than I had thought. So I think you just need to click Wild Charge, and that's going to do it. There's that Wild Charge. If it knocks out the Mega Metagross, then that's it. And Giovanni Costa takes the final SoCal Midseason Showdown on the 3DS. So that was a really great match between the two players there. You know, it was interesting. It was all, just watching it, to me, it was all about getting each Pokemon into the right position. We saw both of them won a match. They both are great players, and congratulations to Giovanni for taking the win. And we got another tournament next week. It's Premier Challenge. So don't forget to either come and visit us or that, or watch it on stream. And we will see you guys then.